In the 19th century, mechanics were considered the domain of male engineers. But 17-year-old Margaret Howe secretly built her first machine from a broken clock. When her parents left, she turned the pantry into a workshop. There were gears, springs, pieces of copper, and her favorite notebook, filled with ideas that you can't tell adults about. Her father didn't support her. He wanted her to be a family girl. Especially at that time, it was considered inappropriate. But one day, Margaret created a device that turns the pages for her. It's so her grandfather, who has arthritis in his hands, can read without assistance. A local newspaper reporter found out about the invention. He wrote an article about the mysterious master mechanic in a small English town. She remained anonymous to the world, but her idea became the foundation for the mechanical devices that appeared decades later. In the 19th century, it was considered proper for girls to play the piano, embroider, and sit in the drawing room. However, one girl defied these rules. She became famous for running through the swamps with a butterfly net in her hand. This is Emily Fairbanks, the daughter of a wealthy factory owner. According to the rules of her era, she was supposed to become a model lady. But Emily was a passionate entomologist, a hunter of insects. One day, Emily found a science magazine and suddenly realized there are hundreds of different kinds of insects in the world around her house, and no one is even trying to study them. She kept records in the same way that professional scientists did, but for a girl, this was considered strange, even a challenge. For Victorian England, this was almost audacious, but Emily was not going to give up her hobby. Emily's father constantly clashed with her because it was inappropriate. And one day, her dream came true. Emily caught a rare swallow-tail butterfly, which was believed to have disappeared from their county. She described the new subspecies in such detail that a real scientist, Dr. Whitmore, noticed her. He liked her notes, even if he couldn't officially use her name. A few weeks later, Emily secretly sent her collection to the London Museum, and soon she learned that her research was displayed alongside the specimens of the best naturalists of the time. The author's name was, of course, not mentioned, but the success was immense. Emily Fairbanks never became an official scientist, but thanks to her courage and passion, several species of insects have been preserved in catalogs. Sometimes you just have to follow your passion, even if the world thinks it's strange. Also, in the 19th century, girls were not allowed to travel alone. It was considered dangerous and inappropriate. But one girl decided to break this rule. Her name was Agatha Steiner. When she turned 20, Agatha decided that if she didn't leave now, she never would. She drove in the first direction she saw. She wrote in her diary about every little thing: the smell of the markets, the people, the sound of shoes on the pavement. The money was running out. Then Agatha decided to work at what she could do. She drew small postcards, sketches, and sold them to tourists and shopkeepers. For the first time, she felt lonely, but there was a strange sense of freedom in that loneliness. At home, the parents receive a letter saying that Agatha has been seen in Italy. Her parents didn't scold her anymore. They didn't praise her. They just kept quiet. Years later, her notes accidentally fell into the hands of a publisher. They became the basis for a small travel guide, published under a pseudonym. The book gained popularity among the same girls who were also not allowed. Photography was a dangerous sorcery women were not allowed in. But Clara Weiss decided to capture the light and leave her mark on the silver. She grew up in a shoemaker's family where every penny was counted. But one day, while passing a traveler's shop, Clara saw something that would change her life forever: a small wooden camera obscura. Clara secretly buys an old broken camera from a traveling repairman. At the age of 16, she secretly took her first photograph. She stood still for 10 minutes while a ray of sunlight burned an image onto the plate. She had to work at night, so no one would see her. She knew that one wrong move would cause the lamp to explode, the acid to burn her skin, and all her hard work to disappear in smoke. She takes a picture of her sister sitting in the morning light. The plate develops, revealing a clear, vibrant face. It was the first real portrait created by a girl in their town. A local art teacher found out about the girl and offered her a job taking photos for the school's nature museum. After a while, her photos are going to be shown at a fair in Hamburg. That's what she's been dreaming of. She could finally earn money doing what she loved, and she even opened a small photography studio in the basement of her father's house. At first, her father grumbled, but gradually, he began to be proud of her. Most importantly, she was pursuing her passion. In the 19th century, archaeology was a man's field. Hard work, danger, and spending nights in the desert, there was no place for women. But one girl decided to break this law. Her name was Eleanor Hunt. She grew up in the home of a geologist. While other girls played with dolls, Eleanor collected stones and fragments of old objects. She found her first artifact in the garden, a fragment of a Roman villa's tile. Her parents didn't support her, so she decided to take matters into her own hands. The first expedition is a small archaeological camp. The men are surprised to see a girl. In 1889, she was accepted as an assistant on a real expedition to Egypt. She was tasked with keeping records and taking photographs of the findings. However, she actually dug alongside the men. Suddenly, she runs her hand along the wall of an ancient temple and notices a strange carved symbol. She finds a clay tablet covered in a mixture of Greek writing and an unknown dialect. The public didn't discuss her discovery. They discussed her courage and the fact that she lived among men in tents. Eleanor returned to Egypt several times. She studied the tablet and helped with the excavation of 3 more temples. But in 1898, during a severe sandstorm, she caught a cold. The illness progressed into severe pneumonia, which was almost incurable at the time. She didn't live to see her fame, but years later, scientists recognized that the tablet found by the archaeologist was the key to understanding a lost dialect. Eleanor didn't just uncover the secrets of the ancient world. She uncovered her own name among those who went against the rules.